Hello and welcome to the 2014 October 13th pre-field trip hangout for the exciting field trip to Puna. So I'm here at the Boys and Girls Club in Hilo. There are some kids back here. Everybody say hi. Okay. And then we can click on Miloli'i, beautiful Miloli'i, and see those guys. Hi Miloli'i. Hi Chair in Miloli'i. Right? There is a group that's going to connect in here with us from Homaka'a. Eden Lewis is saying that he's trying to get on here. I'm going to try to introduce one more person. Aiden Lewis, 18Lue at kuoklada.org. Invite. Tried again.
Yes.
There is the link. Okay, so if you're not able to get on, you can still send me a chat. I know some of you guys might be watching this live link over YouTube right now. But what we essentially want to do today is kind of give a preview of what's going to happen in the next 2 days on the field trip. So for those of you who can see my screen, then it'll be easier to see it on the YouTube than it is on here. But for now, I'm going to start by, let's go to View, Present. Okay. So October 14th and 15th, obviously we know that if you're a younger person up to 8th grade, you'll come on Tuesday. And if you're an older person, 9th grade or older, then you come on Wednesday. The agenda is that we meet here at 8 a.m. The Boys and Girls Club in Hilo, and then at 8:30 a.m. we'll be at the Ace Hardware in Keao. At 9 a.m., Puna Geothermal Power Plant, and for those of you who've never been there before or know anything about it, it's a big, huge, tall tower in the middle of Puna, and we get to go into the facility and learn all about the how they operate and a little bit of the details with it. Then at 10 o'clock, we're going to be at what's called the steam vents, and there's a hotel there, or a bed and breakfast that's there, and they'll show us all around how some natural geothermal energy gets utilized for the economic value. And then the Cave of Refuge, we'll walk into an awesome cave and check out some of the cool structures there. We'll have lunch and talk story in Kaimu as we go along.
No, I just have something.
Okay, and then lastly, we'll walk out to a new beach that's being formed out there, and then we'll probably be done at around 1:30. I've got this end part of the day as kind of a flexible part because the storytellers that we have who are coming to talk to us about what it was like 20 years ago when the lava was flowing down, some of them can be pretty talkative and excited to share some cool history with us, and we want to absolutely listen to everything they can share. One of us, I've heard, might even be able to teach a little bit of a hula or a hula chant that goes along with that. So with that, the first thing I thought it would be good to kind of update everybody on is the current situation of the lava. Last month we went on the field trip to the civil defense and on the lava tube here. What was the name of that lava tube? Mauna Cave. We went to those lava tubes and we learned about what that was. And I told you guys that we would try our best to get right to the front of the lava for this field trip. That's not possible legally. If we wanted to be sneaky bad people, we could sneak park the van and try to hike the 0.8 miles and get out to where the lava is flowing through the forest, but it's not legal right now. So yes, we went there before. Yes, nobody's gonna fall out. So anyway, as of October 10th, the lava flow is right here. Pahoa is right over here, so it's not very far away. I've got another picture of it zoomed in, but this map kind of also shows some of the areas we'll be visiting. The first spot we'll visit is right over here. You can kind of see this triangle. That's where the geothermal power plant is. Then the steam vents are right up here along the top surface. or along the top of this road down here, and then Kalapana is this whole region down here, and you can see that that's the region that doesn't have any green vegetation on this map because it was covered by lava 20 years ago. Right here is a little zoomed in picture. I guess the lava is 0.8 miles away right now from the dump, and so the current estimate is back to 18 days before it crosses the road. And we know that we've been through this before where the lava was on its way and then it changed its mind and stopped. Lava is hard to predict with any accuracy. But if possible, we'll ask somebody in Pahoa or anybody that we can bump into there with any official title if they can give us kind of a spontaneous summary of something. But for now, what we can know is that in 18 days, it's going to be hard to keep people from seeing it because it's going to be on the road, right? So then maybe we'll have a special field trip to go back and look at it again. So for this field trip, the big Ike Hawaii learning lesson is about Pele. And Pele is, if you guys have logged onto the Google Classroom for this, you'll notice that there's a web page that Puanani put in there that is all about the story of Pele. Some of the different things that are out there. Oh, Kira's calling. She's trying to get in. Let me jump out for a second, and let's see if we can invite her. Hang on. Inviting you. Okay. Let's see, where is the Google Hangout? Let's see, where? Right here. Oh man, got so many exciting things here. I am going to go up here to where we invite Kira. Okay, she must have just gotten online. So sorry for everybody out there who is kind of hanging on for a second there. I know this kind of looks like a trippy.
Aloha.
Aloha, Kira. Invite. Kira. Oh, maybe I just have to copy this. Command C, and then I'll go back here. Remember, guys, we all learn by trying things out. Your teachers are no different than you. Okay, let's see if that works. Does that work? Okay, right now we still have just one person in here. Uh-huh.
If you want that to work, you have to go on to the share settings and then share anyone that you send to.
Really? So when I'm over here at the sharing settings?
Yeah, just
Oh, look. Here,
okay. Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hi. You say hi, Uncle Adam?
There you guys are. Here we are. I'll turn off our screen share for a second. Hi, everybody. We're all looking at the screen there. And we're all here, just so you guys can see us again. Okay. Okay. So guys, welcome. I'm sorry it took a little bit to get everybody hooked up in there, but we should be up and running now. And we're really looking forward to this field trip. We were just sharing some slide pictures, and they're going to be saved on the YouTube for here. But I'll share my screen again, and we'll just quickly refresh what we were going over there. So my screen should be shared. Entire screen. And share. Okay, and now I'll go back to here and view and present. Okay. So we were giving a little update here on what's happening with the lava flow. As of now, it's 0.8 miles from Pahoa. And as hard as we tried to get ourselves to have a field trip up to the actual lava flow, that was not possible. The civil defense and the police did not think that was a good idea. In fact, they didn't even want us as a group to stop by the Civil Defense Office in Pahoa because they said we don't know what our day is going to be like at that time. So instead, we have a field trip to the Puna Geothermal Power Plant, which is right down here. And the Puna Geothermal Power Plant is kind of in line with the Pu'u'o crater system. If we have just a nice topographic only map, we could see that there's a line of craters that kind of goes right down like this, right out to the edge of the ocean here. And those craters are places where there's either geothermal activity or in the case of Pu'u'o, lava activity. But that's our scenario. We can know that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or next month, we might be able to see the lava flow because it'll be going across the road and it won't be as restricted as it is right now. So instead, we have some other things we'll be learning about on this trip. We'll get the next best thing. We'll get somebody who can talk to us about what it was like when the lava took over their neighborhood and learn how people adapt to that. So the first thing, I know many of you guys, especially you guys in Waikoloa, were figuring out how to get onto the Google Classroom site, and I found a link that hopefully we can work on a little bit later to log in there. On today's assignment for the Google Classroom, there's a link to a website that talks about Pele and who Pele is and what she represents to Hawaiian people. And right now, I'm not going to say too much about that because the video does such a much better job than I would do trying to share it. So we'll have you guys look at that, and then when we talk story with people in Kalapana, we'll get a chance to hear more about that. But in terms of the Puna Geothermal Power Plant, they'll show us how they drill 5,000 to 6,000 feet down into the earth in order to harness Pele's energy, to essentially take steaming water and use it to run big turbines that hook up to the grid system for the rest of the island. And the first question is, how does a system like this actually make power, and maybe why is it sometimes in the news for people being upset about it? The second question is, what are they going to do when the lava comes? Because, of course, they are not in direct line of lava right now, but at some point they might have to move their situation, they might have to adapt to the changing environment. So they're ready to talk to us about that. The next site that we'll visit, we'll spend about half an hour to an hour there. They're going to show us their main control room. They won't let us walk out and touch the actual heavy equipment or touch any of the turbines or anything like that, but they'll let us stand in this little room where we can see the plant and learn about how it all operates. When we finish, we're going to go to another natural geothermal spring called the steam vents. And there's a very nice man who runs the Steam Vent Inn who is going to give us a tour of this facility where there's a lot of natural saunas or natural steam rooms where these lava tubes have turned into places where the water from the environment that trickles down into the ground gets heated up to the point where it comes out as steam. And you can go there for a vacation and feel how nice it is to get hot. So anyway, they'll let us walk in and stick our head in there and see what it looks like. And then we'll take a look at this thing called the Cave of Refuge. Sorry, my finger goes quickly. The Cave of Refuge, which is a lava tube that formed 10,000 to 15,000 years ago. So this one is much, much older than the lava tube that we visited on our last field trip. What's fascinating about this lava tube, though, is that it has some archaeological significance. That it was used during certain time periods to be kind of an area that was a protection area, so that if there was an invading group of people or something, they could hide in there and wait. And you'll see that this lava tube was cut off by a fault. And we'll see the fault. It's very clear, and we'll climb in there. And what's really cool about this lava tube is that it goes right out to the edge of the ocean, and you can look down a steep cliff. We're all going to make sure not to lean over the edge of the cliff because the fall is about 25, would you say 25, 30 feet down to the rocks below and the waves crashing on the rocks. If you look up, you're looking up about another 25 feet up to the actual rim of the cliff up above. So it's a really awesome thing to see, but anyway, that's where we'll go next. And it was mapped out in detail by a guy named Henry K. Kahuna. Henry K. Kahuna, which he's an architect, archaeologist who went and drew lots of awesome pictures of the site we're going to go to. So here's kind of like an entrance. You have to go through this little narrow section, and then you go past a wall, and it's about 200 meters, so 600 feet long, this lava tube, and then it ends at the ocean here. And I think I sent you guys a link to kind of an adventure traveler's pictures of what it looks like there. We're going to park within about 20 minutes to walk here, so it's not a very long walk. It is important to bring a headlamp or a flashlight and some closed-toed shoes. If you don't want to go in, you don't have to. You can walk with an adult over to the edge and take a look off the edge. This is a cool area because it was not covered by lava in the 1992 eruption. So the lava flowed everywhere else, but it's protected there. Okay. This last picture shows a picture of what I think is Queen's Bath, and it was like a popular site down at this area, and many people would go there to swim. And then here's the same site when the lava was trickling into it. So I think when we're down there, some of the people have some pictures that they'll show us, and there's certainly some plaques and some other stories. But a lot of what we're going to be learning about is since we know this is about to happen to the people of Pahoa or whoever is in direct path of the lava, what was it like for these families that lived in this environment so close to Pele as Pele took the area back? We know that there was a lot of acreage added. There was about, I think, 500 acres added to the coastline there. There was a seashore that was right next to where we're going to be having lunch. And then at the end of our day, we're going to walk up to the current end of the seashore to go and see what the new beach has turned into in the last 20 years and how it's being reformatted a little bit. Okay? So that's it for kind of a pre-field trip hangout. I see a question there in the back. I see Orion. Go ahead, Orion.
Hi, Orion. I remember doing last year.
What'd you say?
Didn't we do something like this last year where we went into a lava tube?
Right.
And,
To the same cave.
and
So, Orion, you're absolutely right. You are going to be one of the experienced ones, the ones who know where we're going. What's special about this time is we're going to actually have time to talk story with a lot of the local folks from that area and learn about what the experience was like. But we're going to be going into the same cave, and you guys know about the safety things for that cave. Nobody pretend like they want to take a picture of themselves leaning out over the edge. Okay? Go ahead, next question.
he's gonna take us to the place. Who's gonna drive?
We'll talk about
Say that question again.
We'll talk about that. Yeah. We'll talk about driving and logistics and how to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that we had really hoped for having a van for Waikoloa that I could send up with you guys for this trip, but unfortunately the school bus is having mechanical issues again, and so they had to use the school bus, they had to use the vans to take over for the kids who go back and forth to the main campus those days. So I'm sorry, it's one where you'll have to carpool or find some way of figuring out how to get there. If needed, we will try to have as much of the field trip live on video so that you can watch it from home. And if not, this time we promise to take better pictures and video and turn it into a movie so that you can watch it afterwards if you can't come along. There'll be other opportunities for field trips this year, and someday we'll be the ones leaving at 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning to make it over to Waikoloa or make it over to North Hawaii when it's time. Okay. Go ahead there, Jesselyn.
Where do we meet?
Where do you meet? Okay, so that was, if you're coming towards Hilo, we'll be here at 8 in the morning, and we'll be leaving with the one van and a few cars that are here as well. So right now on the intent to participate form, I only have 2 people who've signed up. So if you are wanting a seat in that van, it's a 15-passenger van, you need to sign up on there, and then I'll just try to ask any parents who can come if they can sign a little form and help drive extra kids so that we can get everybody to the places we need to get to.
Okay, so it's at the Boys and Girls Club in Hilo, is that right?
If you come to the Boys and Girls Club at Hilo at 8, then we'll be all done. We'll be back by 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll be done down in Kalapana at 1:30, but anybody who's been to Kalapana before knows it's about an hour-long drive from Kalapana to Hilo. So that's where I'll drop people off at the end of the day.
Okay. So are we leaving from the Boys and Girls Club at 8 or 8:30 then?
8:30 we'll meet in the Kayao at the Kayao Ace Hardware. So in Kayao there's a little shopping center, and right in that shopping center there's Ace Hardware there. So anybody who's coming from the south or coming from the Puna area can just meet us right there, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Yep, it's 8 o'clock there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Questions you guys have?
No? Okay.
Okay, so can you ask me to send the email again? So I'll send that again, and I'll send it to all of you guys.
Okay, the invitation to the classroom?
Yes.
Or
So I will send there as a link, a code, and then you guys can click that code and sign in. I have not figured out yet how to manually assign kids to a Google Classroom, but as soon as I figure that out, I'll just make sure everybody else is in there.
Okay, sounds good. I think Synergy's got a question.
Should we bring our computers?
You do not need to bring your computers, but I did hear that we will be able to give you guys the T-shirts that you got. So when we see you, you'll get a T-shirt. You can bring a camera, bring a headlamp if you're going to go into the cave. Bring some good shoes for when you're walking into the cave, and bring lots of snacks for yourself and lots of water. And you know, you're in Puna, and it could be a sunny, beautiful day, so sunscreen's a good idea as well.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Any other questions? No? No? Okay. All right, Uncle Adam.
All right. Mahalo.
Bye.